Janjo.
Hey everyone, this is Jesse from Janjo. Thank you for checking out this video. Now, there has been a lot of discussion on this channel about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I finally saw it. So what do I think? Let's find out. Wait. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because that helps me upload more videos and know that you like content like this. So my main premise about this video is I want to dissect what I thought about the movie and if my positives and negatives I mentioned in previous videos still hold true. Whether it's I'm correct about it or I'm wrong about it. Let's jump into it. So I've talked about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie quite a bit. My discussions have been through a lot of various things, ranging from Jim Carrey as an actor to the thoughts on the CGI. Now, ever since 2019's Detective Pikachu was a hit and the first trailer of Sonic was lackluster, there's a ton of speculation to be had. Now, going to the theater surrounded by talkative kids and teens of the like, the best way to describe my precursor thoughts would be, well, cautiously optimistic. How was it? What did I think about the Sonic movie? Well, in all honesty, I was pleasantly pleased. The film walked on a fine line of either being bland or annoying, and between Sonic and all the human characters, it was clear that there was thought put into the writing and demographic for being fair. Now, there are a fine amount of questionable decisions made from either certain character actions or the uses on the environment, like why couldn't Sonic just run up a building to get rings, or why couldn't he just take off his glove to get rid of an explosive? Well, that's because the old CGI had the gross human fingers. I don't believe it's better than Detective Pikachu, but I would certainly love to see a sequel that gets wackier and inventive with its material. Like the scene when they first talk about Robotnik, you have all these government agents in a room talking about, oh, we have this one guy, he's kind of crazy. Remember this place in Ishkalabadesh? No? Well, that's because of Robotnik. I want to see more crazy stuff like that. I want to see more crazy scenery, more thematics about the nature versus technology thing. This film didn't really cover, but this film did cover a good theme of knowing your roots, I think it was. That's what I got from it. Love, friendship, being with your family, that kind of stuff, all good messages. If you're interested in this film, just go in with an open outlook and you might enjoy from start to the finish line. But in terms of the things that I thought was good in my positives video, was that they definitely cared for the material. With the redone CGI, I do believe it helped out a lot. If they had the old CGI, I feel like there's be a lot more of a negative connotation with the film. You can kind of see that they did want to respect the series from certain aspects from it, but also incorporate their own vision, and they definitely fuse that together. And next, Jim Carrey is great. I kind of knew this going in, because from the interviews and from the trailers, he seemed to have an understanding of the character, Robotnik, and just have a fun time. Plus, I love Jim Carrey movies. I have so many of them I've mentioned before. I could probably talk about Jim Carrey all day, and he definitely brings that needed star power to the film. As much as I love Cyclops as the main character with Sonic, Robotnik really kind of stole the show for himself. Every time he was on screen, I just wanted to see what will he do, what will he say, how will he react, what facial emotions will he portray. He was absolutely great in this. On top of that, the action was pretty good. From start to end, there was all these fast-moving action. The scenes were really great. I kind of wish you saw Sonic do a bit more Sonic-y stuff. You saw occasionally he would roll into a ball, but for the most part, it was just kind of smashing robots with sticks. I kind of wish we saw a bit more. I wanted to see a homing attack in this. That would have been crazy if you jumped in the air, stayed there for a couple seconds, and then dashed towards something. I know that's a bit ridiculous, but that's kind of stuff I want to see in the next movie. Him learning how to homing attack. Yeah, but overall, the action I thought was really fun. It was really fast-paced. I really enjoyed that you could see everything, even with the speed, and the way it was set up, it worked really well. Now, for my negatives video, which was a bit more controversial on my channel, I mentioned that Sonic looked a bit more annoying than Goofy. From the movie, he definitely seemed a bit more childlike, and I think that worked in his favor, because that's kind of how his character was set up to be in the film. He was kind of this kid thrown into his whole world, learning everything on his own. So things like flossing or the fart jokes, it makes sense giving his character. I don't think it's too ridiculous. Again, you gotta consider the demographic with this movie was for more kids, and clearly it's doing really well with them. I don't think everything was too over the top. I feel like everything was subdued enough with Sonic to be funny, and he is also kind of sad with him. Interesting take with Sonic, making a bit more of a an outcast that doesn't know where he belongs. I think that the movie did that really well. He didn't seem as cool and hip as we're probably used to, as Sonic probably should be portrayed, but he definitely wasn't awkward or cringy. So they did have their own separate take on Sonic, and I can appreciate them for that. I do believe Detective Pikachu was done better. I feel like the references, the mystery, the drama was done a bit better in that movie. But to be fair, I feel like Sonic did enough to not make it too ham-fisted with the references. Having Green Hills, the town, was kind of a funny thing. Having a little hints here and there I thought was kind of hilarious. It definitely had a different take on incorporating the video game world into this. But again, you can tell that the filmmakers wanted to have their own interpretation of Sonic, and I can't really knock them for that. And you know, again, it may not be fair comparing them, but you gotta compare the two. It's just natural to do that. I don't think it's better than Detective Pikachu, but I think it's pretty close, if I'm gonna be honest. But still, Sonic the Hedgehog, I want to say it's a bad movie. And the old CGI, it definitely looks a lot better now. And again, as I mentioned before, there was a possibility the film could have been bad in addition to this. I don't think it was. I think even with the old CGI, while I do think with the old CGI, as I mentioned earlier in this video, that it would have a much more negative connotation going into the movie and watching the movie, and that would affect your outlook. But I think even still, the movie itself would have been good. Sonic would have been, I think, too distracting from it. But if you regard Sonic from the movie entirely, just focus on all the other components, I think the movie does pretty well in it. I think that they clearly knew what they were doing, maybe not the Sonic, but again, that's their own vision. They wanted to go for it, and they kind of realized, okay, maybe that was a bit too far, but it works out in their favor. So, in conclusion, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was pretty decent. Sonic came off as kind of a fun little child misfit. The human characters were written with more depth than just a 2D character. Jim Carrey was great. There's plenty of action, plenty of references to the film that wasn't too forced, but fit the world just enough. And I felt like there's obviously problems with it, things that didn't make sense, things that you couldn't just think, why didn't they just do this? Why didn't they just do that? But from what we had, it created some fun moments. I enjoyed the movie. I really wish we do get a sequel, because this film did very well in the box office, and I'm excited for a sequel because I want to see it get more wackier, get more goofier. And if you want me to talk about what should be in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie sequel, then let me know in the comments below, or on a poll, or on Twitter at Janjo Brand, because there can't be enough places to talk to me. Or on the community tab. Who knows? There's a bunch of stuff YouTube allows me to do. So, what do you think about the movie? Obviously, let me know that as well. And until then, have a nice day.